This is the Dog Savant Podcast with your host, Brett Endies.
Hello and welcome to the Dog Savant Podcast. Today is episode 62. My name is Brett Endies. I am your host. I am a Los Angeles-based dog trainer. I have been a problem behavior specialist for 25 years now. And the purpose of this podcast is to share my experience, accumulated knowledge, and understanding of dog behavior and training to help you if you're a dog owner who is seeking quality training and can't find it. If you would like to supplement the quality training you are getting, if you're a client of mine, or if you're another trainer who just wants some more insight to dogs, their behaviors, and how to resolve the problem ones that we may experience. Okay, how's that for a new take on the essence of the show? Let's see, as I always talk about, please rate, review, share, subscribe. No one's doing it, but I'll keep asking. So, I don't know, maybe I'll guilt you into doing it. It takes 2 clicks of a button, and it would really help me. I'm putting out content for you, trying to keep you entertained, trying to keep you informed, trying to share, but I need your help too so more people can hear this and keep this going. I only do this podcast because I want to help as many dogs and owners as possible, and I find that if I have a platform that gets more people to hear the words I say at once, it's going to exponentially increase the influence I have from just the one-on-one clients I work with in the real world. Okay, so do that. What are we going to talk about today? You know, it's always a challenge. I always try to get creative. I don't want to do the same redundant place training, walking. We'll touch on it. We'll do plenty of podcasts with that being the subject, but I like to keep it fresh, new, and different. So I thought maybe we'll talk about pet business ownership, how to develop a pet business, how to manage a pet business. And we're not talking about scaling one. You know, I could tell you how to, manage staff and delegate and blah, blah, blah. I'm talking about how to grow a grassroots business with limited output financially, using your sweat equity, to build what you have, and your skills, your good word, your integrity, your honesty, your reliability to make a name for yourself and have a consistent client base that you can rely on to pay your bills and provide a decent income for yourself. Dog training can be a lucrative profession, but you have to make sure you're doing the right thing. And again, I know dog trainers that are making 7 figures at this, and they're not that great, but they're really good at scaling. That's not what I'm good at. I'm a good trainer who knows how to give personal, individualized, boutique service, and that's what I've created, a niche. And that's not for everyone. Some people are like, well, I don't want to do all the hands-on work. I don't want to see every client. I do want to scale up. Well, there's other people who can give you marketing and business advice. There's tons of them out there. They're doing workshops, seminars. I forgot his name. He does good in it. It's some of the stuff that I would recommend you do even if you're going to build, a one-man show operation like I have. So let's talk about marketing. I'll give an example of when I've relocated my business to 3 different markets, starting in New York to Colorado, now more recently, of course, in Los Angeles. And when I moved here in Los Angeles, I was 40 years old. I was exhausted. I had been through a lot in life. It was not easy to, after have established myself twice over, now start from scratch again in a new location with a market that's very competitive. I mean, really, you get some of the top dog trainers move here because everyone's looking for a show. Everyone wants the big dollar, famous celebrity clientele. So you come here, and what I felt was I wasn't really worthy of this market until I had gained enough understanding of dogs, the training, the relationships they have with their owners, and had enough practice where I can bring it to this market because people here do want the best of the best. They want to know that they're paying for the best, and they're willing to do that. So you gotta, maybe if you're not in a market like LA, this could even be an easier proposition. But when I came out here, I had no money. I barely had a place to live, but I had myself, time, energy, motivation, and the confidence in knowing that I had helped dogs in the past. I knew my craft. I just had to let other people know that I was there to help them. And once they did, the phones would start ringing. So you can do this in a couple ways. Usually if you don't want to spend money, you can probably get things going, and then we can talk about the online, the more paid type of advertisement, Google, AdWords, all that. And I'm not an expert. I'm not an SEO. I'm not an online expert. But I understand how these things work enough to get the ball rolling, and then you can even hire out people that can take it to the next level. So, exposure. It's all a numbers game. You've got to get in front of eyes of the people who are looking for your service. So who's that going to be if you're a pet professional, dog trainer, dog walker, groomer, whatever, veterinarian? Dog owners. Where do dog owners go? Dog-related businesses, veterinarians' offices, dog parks, public spaces, events where it's dog-friendly, restaurants that are known to be dog-friendly. These are the places you want to hit, whether it be going in with a stack of cards or brochures or I used to make little dog behavior checklists that owners can fill out just to assess their dog's behavior patterns that I'd leave in vet clinic offices with a little, a card holder. And what you do is, so that people don't try to stake their claim in your space, you put a little printout with your name, website, and number, if empty, call, so the veterinarians start remembering you and calling you every month, or you just stop by every month, even if it is no one's taken any cards. You're building a rapport with all of these vet clinics. They get to know your face, and when someone says, hey, I need a trainer, like, hey, yeah, that guy Brett, I remember him. I remember he gave me some cards and put it out here. Here, try this guy, I have his cards, right? And eventually, if you have even 5 vets a month recommending you to one client, that's 5 clients for doing basically nothing. That's five. That's it. That's a living. If you get 5 full-paying clients, you're making a living. So right there. Other things you can do. You'll just do it at vets, do it at all pet business. Some people are going to tell you to get the hell out of there. That's fine. Move on. I'm sure there's enough pet businesses you can just market. What I did was I went on Google and I would go in an area. I kind of set a range, like a radius, and I would do a search. I'd be okay. Dog wash, dog sitter, dog groomer, blah, blah. And I would just make a list either on paper or just do it on my phone, and I would go to place. Then what I did was I did it for dog parks, and for this it was a little different because there's no one there. It's more of an independent marketing. I would take flyers where, maybe I'll post a picture of it so you can see what I did. Just a picture of me, my contact information, little paragraph on who I am, my experience, what I do, what I help with. And then some of the behaviors and situations, puppies, aggression, leash reactivity, anxiety that I deal with. Hit some of the key things that people with a problem dog are going to be looking for. And this is even for keywords and search terms on Google. And then you make a nice, attractive, professional, clean-looking flyer so they look like you're not, Joe Blow off the streets, and you actually know how to manage yourself, because you're going to be asking for good money, and then people are inviting you into their homes to handle their family members, their pets. So you've got to present yourself not as a schlub. You got to be on point in how you look, appear, the words you say, the words you print, blah, blah, blah. And what I do with these flyers is some of them I'd hand out and leave on, on the tables in vet offices, but some of them I'd laminate. Then I would take these business card holders that they come 8 to a page that you can put inside of a 3-ring binder, and I would cut each little plastic business card holder sleeve so it was one, hot glue it to the laminated sign on the bottom, and stuff my cards in there, as many as could fit. And every couple weeks I'd make a list, and I just, while with clients or just one night when there's no traffic, just do the rounds and re-up these things. I still 5 years later see some of these old worn out laminated signs at some of the shitty dog parks that nobody maintains. And I'm telling you, that was free marketing. And when I started doing that, things went crazy. You would be amazed at how many people are at dog parks looking for dog training. I got so many calls, and then I can start building my website. Then I start paying for more, like Yelp ads, Yelp pages. You want to get a good Yelp page. Don't be a shit business. Show up on time, communicate, do what people are asking for. If there's an issue, resolve it. Refund money if you have to. You don't want a bad Yelp review as any business, and certainly as a pet business, because people are not going to trust you with their animals. And it amazes me when I do business with some companies and I go look and I'm like, yeah, the Yelp review should have warned me that you're like this. And then I'll even call them and say, hey, why are you like this? How do you live with a business or work for a business that is seen like this by the public and they don't give a shit? It amazes me, and it's disrespectful to paying customers. Aside from that, it's a great marketing tool. When people will want to share on Yelp how you help them. So help them. Do a good job. If you're going to be a few minutes late, let them know you're 3 minutes late. It's not neurotic. They appreciate it, because most people don't give a crap when they're working for the public or working as a service provider for people. And you are that, so you're going to stand out. Not only that, you got to be a good dog trainer. Don't take an online course and think you got it figured out. Be humble. Learn, not just online. Apprentice in the real world. Don't just do a 2-day workshop. Find a local master dog trainer that will take you on, not for pay, that you will give them time of yours and learn the craft. I trained dogs for over a year. I owned dog walking businesses. I worked at veterinarians for multiple years before I even felt I had the right to ask for money to train dogs. And I see so many people, they take an online course and they think they know better than anyone else who's actually been in the trenches for decades. So, don't be that person. Clients are going to pick it up, even if you're not in a high-ticket market. They are not going to feel comfortable with you unless you exude confidence, experience, and compassion for them and their situations and putting the client first. That will get you a good review page, Yelp, Google, Facebook, whatever. Then you can spend money on advertising, whether it be AdWords. I'd say online. I'd say print advertising really isn't going to do you. All your print stuff can be like I explained, the grassroots, and where you can get free versions of it for the business going to generate. But if you really want to start getting found, especially in certain markets where people are looking for, there's countless people looking for dog trainers every day. That's where you want to start investing in SEO for your website. If you don't understand it, get a professional, because I know me, I'm not tech savvy. I hire out. You can get AdWords if you're trying to build up a new market, and they'll learn how to play around with these where they can test I don't know exactly how it works, but they test how much you invest per search, and then you get amount of customers, and they can track it through the phone number. All good ways to generate business, especially when your website or your grassroots isn't picking up or things are slow. You can supplement it with that. But it really comes down to hard work, hustle, playing the numbers, so clients start calling you. Get a good script in your head. Know what to say. Create what's called a straight line. There's a guy called Jordan Belfort. Some people don't like him. He's the Wolf of Wall Street. He trained me in sales many years ago when I was a 19-year-old kid. And although I didn't stay with that because that's not the line of work I was devoted to doing, it was a start just to get a job out of high school, and I sure learned how to sell. And I use that sales to get people to have a service that's going to benefit them. So that's where sales is not bad if it's done with the right intention. So you won't want to be like, Mr. Jones. You'll be, hey, Mr. Jones, this is Joe and Joe from Schmo Joe Dog Training School. Here's what I do. This is how I work. Not arrogant, not pushy, not cocky, confident. Listen. Then when they talk, you shut up and hear them. Address their concerns. You know damn well after you do this enough times, it's the same thing coming at you day after day. My dog has this, and that, mixed bag of issues. Everyone says the same thing. Everyone makes the same mistakes. They don't know that. So have a little, but you want to take control. Don't let them start telling you how their dogs are going to be trained. It will come off as a sale, a booking, whatever you want to call it. Because, when I was new as a trainer, I didn't know what I know now, but I was confident because I'd been around a lot of dogs. I had my sales background. I was raised in a certain way, just knowing that if you exude yourself with confidence, things work out better than being pessimistic or hesitant. And that's got me through a lot of years until I actually have the knowledge where I can answer questions intelligently. And that's another thing. Take the time. Don't rush these people off the phone because the numbers are going to work out for you. I've had times where I get 10 people in a day. They did not call. I spent multiple hours on the phone and not one of them hired me. It was just the stars were not aligned. And then the next day, I've had 5 people in a row book me. And you'll start getting like a ratio and you'll know what you have to adjust. I've dialed in a little. I don't share it. I'm not going to share it on this. But I have a pitch. I have a thing that I say that I tailor to the dog and individual I'm talking to. But it generally takes me down a straight line, like Jordan Belfort teaches, to end with a close. And what is a closing? They book you. Then you have to have a system for how you structure your lessons, whether you do board and train, you do private training, groups. Like I do a combination of both. I do a private, first no obligation 2-hour lesson. Then I'll do a package of usually 5 or 10 lessons depending on the client and what they need and what their budget and what they're looking for. And all of my clients can attend usually once or twice a month. We do a drop-in class at different locations that you can come to for life. And you can also contact me. I want to have an open line of communication. Clients can text me, call me. I'll always get back to them even if we're not actively working together. That's what gets me continued business, a stellar reputation, the accolades that make me sleep well at night knowing I'm not just taking money from people like purely positive trainers sell you on bullshit and give you nothing. I'm giving people even more than what they're expecting. Go above and beyond, exceed expectations, don't just meet them. This is for anything. I don't care if you have a totally unrelated business. This is how I'm telling you the people who are going to make sure you're taken care of, keep you in business, refer you, pay you well, that's what they want. They don't want bullshit. They don't want inexperience, and they don't want you to put yourself before them as the customer. That's a problem. And more businesses, boy, I'm disappointed with how places treat me when I spend my hard-earned money and I'm loyal to them. It's all the time, more often than I've ever seen, because of how incompassionate we are to each other, especially in a business context. It's all about our bottom line, not the everybody wins, we all look out for each other, and then it's better off in the long run for all parties. So I know I'm not giving as specific. I wish I was an SEO guy and I could take you through the steps of how to program your website. That's someone else's gig, and I pay people for that. I can give you advice if you ask me offline, where do I go to, the names, I'm fine to give that, but I just tell you how I made it work. A lot of it was hustle, a lot of it was time, a lot of it was experience, self-sacrifice more than anything, confidence, not false confidence, confidence that would lead people into getting what they were looking for so specifically, even they were amazed that it was above and beyond. So that's what you should be doing, the meet and exceed. And it's really, there's more dogs than ever. And people that are knocking on Cesar Millan, I think he's been the greatest thing because he's popularized the concept that someone can come into your house and actually fix your dog. 10, 15 years ago when Cesar first came out, I was just eking out a living. And then when it's like normal, and then they'll watch a show and that'll compliment the... So it's a great time to be a dog trainer, but you have to know your shit. You also have to be realizing that you're probably going to have... Oh, cats. I forgot the guy, the marketing guy. And he says, I was just going to say it too, and it came to me. You need to focus on real world clients. I had a show. It doesn't pay shit. It doesn't lead to anything else, or it leads to what you make it out to lead to. People like Sean O'Shea, he was an internet guy, and now everyone's piling on him, and he's going to have to go back to the drawing board. So you know what? One-on-one clients, if you do well, you're going to get a great per hour rate. You're going to have a rewarding, sometimes hard work. You're going to be in the car a lot. You're going to be taking on a lot of people's stress and problems, but you're going to feel good about yourself, and your bank account will be taken care of too. And that's why I don't like scaling up, because I never wanted to get rich. I just want to pay my bills, take care of my family, and be comfortable. And I'm getting that doing the one-on-one. I've carved out a really neat niche, and as long as I'm healthy, I can keep doing this. So don't say that. I'm not saying that's better or worse. I'm saying that's what I do and my experience. You may find that you want to take this model and go times 100 and have 25 trainers working under you, and you'll make 7 figures, no problem. This is a limitless business if you want to take it on. Some people have more tolerance for stress, better at delegating people. They're younger, I don't know, but I'm happy with the niche I've carved out so far. Okay, so that was my pet business marketing podcast, my version of it. That's my own special way of sharing. And if you have any questions, please, dog training, dog business related, or anything else, dogtrainingla@gmail.com. Again, please subscribe, rate, review, share. Follow me on social media @the Dog Savant, and keep training, leading, and loving your dog. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for listening.